Hello guys, Sujaro speaking. Welcome to Bedtime Stories, episode number 710. Today we're reading part 1 of our 3 stories, Winnie-the-Pooh. So let's read it out, shall we? So we got for us. Written by A. Milne, illustrated by Ernest Shepard. So let's read it now. Here we go. And 3 stories, Winnie-the-Pooh. Here we go. This is published by Scholastic Book Services. And my stepdad, when he died, he gave me this book so that I can read this with you guys. I mean, see, here is a Winnie the Pooh book, so there you go. And this is an old book, okay? Very old. Copyright, 1926 by E.P. Dalton Corporation Incorporated. Copyright new 1954 by A. Milne. Corporation's copyright 1966 by E.P. Dalton Company Incorporated. Scholastic Book Services editions published by arrangement with E.D. Dalton Corporation Incorporated. All reserved. Stories we're going to do today in this Bedtime Stories episode is which Pooh gave visiting and gets in the tight place. This is from page 7 to 21. See, here is it in the chapters we're going to do in part 1. Here we go. So we're going to read that first, then we're going to read in which Piglet meets a helper, part 2, and part 3 we're going to read in which Eeyore has a birthday and gets 2 presents. Here we go. For these 3 different separate episodes of Bedtime Stories. In this book, you'll meet Christopher Robin and Winnie the Pooh, Piglet and Rabbit, and Owl and Eeyore. Okay, these stories I have not seen in the original concept of these parts in these books. I mean, Christopher Robin is probably minutes old. Probably I can't remember how old he is. Probably 6 years old when it's first created, but it came out in 1926. But he was around, I probably have to say about 6 or 7 years old. He was born in 1920, and he got his first Winnie the Pooh, Pooh Bear, in 1921, and it was created with stories written by A. Milne in 1926. Yeah, that was it. Okay. So there we go. Let's read it now. Anyways, in which Pooh goes visiting and get into the tight place. So we'll read that today. Here we go. Edward Bear. Never heard that before. Okay. Known to his friends Winnie the Pooh. Pooh was short. Walking through the forest one day, and humming proudly to himself. Okay, he had made up a little hum that very morning, and he was doing his strenuous exercise in front of the glass one day. Anyway, tra-la, tra-la, he stretched up as high as he could, and then tra-la, tra-la, oh hell, la. As he tried to reach his toes after his breakfast, he had said over and over too. Okay? So Robinson, how cute as Chris Robin is and the little boy. Next page. Anyways, wow, this big picture of him at a hungry acre wood. Built himself until he had learned it off by heart. And now he was humming like through poverty. It went like this. Tra-la, 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 tra-la. Anyways, Rum-tum Tibbles, but anyway. Tom. But anyway. Till ill, Rum-tum, till Tom. Okay. Okay, now I don't know what he was saying back then, but that makes sense. Mix between sense and mix-up sense. Anyway, well, he has humming this hum to himself and walking around gaily, what everyone else was doing and what it felt like. Okay, being somebody else when he came in the Sally bank, and the bank was a large hall. Okay. Aha, said Pooh. It's a little mess up broken anyway. That's Tom to Tom. If I know anything about anything, that hall means rabbit. Okay? He said. And rabbit means comedy, he said. And comedy means food and listening to me humming and such like rom tom till It kind of reminds me of in these original stories, kind of remind me of Pickle Pop Pops and Mr. K's Clubhouse in style, man. But it's a little different than that, you know. But in this case, it's mixed between the two things. Anyways, next page. Anyways, so you went down and went into the hall with that and call it out. Is everybody at home? There's a sudden something noise from inside the hall and then silence. Wow. Okay then, what I said was, is everybody home? Call out Pooh very loudly. No, said the voice. Now it's rabbit. Someone that then I said that's someone that. Then I asked someone that you need should shout so loud. Needed. What does that mean? It's not even a word. Okay. I heard you quite well the first time. Bobber, said Pooh. Is there anybody out here at all? Nobody? Winnie-the-Pooh took his head out of the hole and thought it was for a little. And then thought to himself, there must be somebody here because somebody must have said nobody. In the Disney version, yes, because I've seen the Disney version beforehand. Anyways, so he put his head back in the hole and said, "Hello, Rabbit. Is that you?" "No," said Rabbit. A different sort of voice this time. Wow, okay. But isn't that Rabbit's voice? I don't think so, said Rabbit. Is that to be? Oh, said Pooh. He took his head out of the hole, and then another thing, and then he put his back and said, "Well, it could be you, very kindly. Tell me where Rabbit is. He have gone to see his friend Pooh Bear." Wow. Which is great, a friend of his. "But it's me," said Bear. "Huh? What?" And I was very much surprised. "Was sure me." That's Pooh Bear. But you know, see here's images right there? The early images of Winnie-the-Pooh? That's what it looks like. But you know, that's just me, of course. A little different than Pooh Bear's shirt and anyway like that. Next page. Anyways, "Pooh Bear, are you sure, Sir Rabbit?" "Huh? Let's see how long this is. We did for 8 minutes. Okay, good. Some more supplies. Quite sure, said Pooh. "Oh, well then, come on in." So Pooh pushed and pushed it his way through the hole, and then at last he got in. "Well, you're quite right," said Rabbit, looking at him all over. "It's you. Glad to see you." Who did it? It was. Well, I wasn't sure. You know how I was in the forest. What can't have anybody coming into one's house, and one have to be careful. Kind of make a difference anyway. Well, I got a mouthful of something like that. Pooh's always like a little something at 11 o'clock. Time's ticking, you know. It was in the morning, and he was very glad to see Rabbit getting out of the plates and mugs. And when Rabbit said, "Honey or curd milk with your bread?" Okay. He was so excited that he said both, and then so as not to seem greedy, and he asked my dad, "But don't bother about the bread. please. And for a long time after that, he said nothing. Until he at last, humming to himself in a rather sticky voice, he got up, shook Rabbit lovely by the paw, and he said, "There must be going on." "Must you?" said Rabbit politely. "Well, Pooh Bear," said Pooh, something like that. Anyway, just stay a little longer if you try to look in the direction of the ladder. Something like that. But anyway, I pronounced it. But anyway, as a matter of fact, said Rabbit, I was going to out myself directly. Oh well then, I'm going to on. Bye bye. Goodbye. Something like that. Well, goodbye. You want a more? Is there any more? Asked Pooh. Quickly. Rabbit took cover of the dishes and said, "No, there wasn't." "I thought not," said Pooh, nodding to himself. "Well, goodbye must be going on." It's a sad thing, you know. Kind of the mix between the two things, you know. It's the mix, you know. Hurting Pooh Bear's feelings. It's hurtful, you know. Next page. Anyways, and this is upsetting, you know. See what? Started to climb out of the hole. He pulled with his front paws, pushed back with his back paws, and a little while in the nose out of the open again, and then his ears, and then his front paws, and then his shoulders, and then, "Oh help," said Pooh. I better go back. "Oh bother," said Pooh. "I should have to go on." "I can't do either," said Pooh. "I hope and bother." But by now this time, Rabbit wanted to go for a walk too, and find this front door full. Wow, this is upsetting, you know. He went out to by the back door, came round to Pooh, and looked for him. "Hello, you stuck?" he asked. "Wow." "No," said Pooh carefully, just resting and thinking and humming to myself. Wow, shocking, I know. But here goes a paw. Said Pooh Bear, stretch out the paw. Rabbit pull it and pull and pull. "Ow," cried Pooh. "You're hurting." Wow. Yeah, you're fake. And this is hurting Pooh so badly, you know. Next page. Anyways, Fatty said, "Rabbit, you're stuck." "Exactly. It's all calm," said Pooh crossly, "of not having front doors being big enough." "You think?" "Anyways, it's all calm," said Rabbit sternly, "of eating too much." "Yeah, thank you." "Anyways, I thought it was time," said Rabbit. Only if I didn't like to say anything," said Rabbit. "But that is us was eating too much," said Rabbit. I know it wasn't me," he said. "Well, I shall go and fetch Christopher Robin." Robins. Christopher Robin had lived in the other end of the forest. And well, when he came back with Rabbit and saw the front half of Pooh, he said, "Silly old bear," said a loving voice that everybody felt quite hopeful again. It could happen anyway. "I was beginning to think," said Bear. "Again? What?" Anyways, sniffling slightly, the rabbit might never be able to use his front door again. I think I started to hate that," he said. "Oh man." "Anyways, so should I," said Rabbit. "Use his front door again," said Christopher Robin. "Of course he would use the front door again." "What do you think, you know?" "Good," said Rabbit. If we can't pull you out, Pooh, we might push you back." "Huh?" Anyways, Rabbit stretched his whiskers thoughtfully. And pointed out that when once Pooh was pushed back, he was back. And of course, nobody was more glad to see Pooh than he was. Told you. Anyways, So there it was. Some live in the trees, and some live underground, and you mean I never go out? Said Pooh. Said Rabbit. They haven't got so far. It's either pity to waste it. Chris Robin nodded. You tell me, Chris Robin. There's only one thing to be done, he said. We'll still wait for you to get Finn again. I was a stomach person to have that at the time when I was 11, and I gotta get Finn that time range, just like that. Anyways, how long would it Finn take? Asked Pooh, and actually, oh man, you tell me. About a week, I should bake, but I can't stay here for a week. But according to Disney movie standards, it takes weeks, months, years. Eeyore said that. That's just me, of course. Next page. Anyways, but we're almost done. But anyway. Oh, come on. You can stay here alright, silly old bear. It's getting you out when it's so difficult. Thank you. Anyways. Feel your pain, Pooh. Anyways, will you read to you? Said Rabbit cheerfully. Now, hope it won't snow. You tell me. Anyways, he added, I'll say, Phil, you taking up a good deal of room in the house. Do you mind if I use your back legs as a towel horse? Because, there are doing nothing and it will be very confident just to hang the towels on them. As a week, said Pooh glumly. What about meals? I'm afraid no meals, said Christopher Robin. Because getting to pay quicker, we will reach you to you. Once by time, blah blah blah, the end. Slobbins. It was there again. What? His name is Pooh, idiot. It was Bear began to sigh, and then found he could because he was so probably stopped. Anyways, and a tear rolled down his eye, and he said, "Then what be you reading a smiling book such as we will help you in comfort way, Bear, a great tightness." So for a week, Chris Robin read the short book in the North and the book Pooh. And Rabbit. Hung his washing of the south and between Bear. Okay, this is getting out of hand. No, Pooh. Okay, moving on. Felt himself getting slender and slender, and all at the end of the week, Chris Robin said, "Now. You can tell me these pictures, see here, but it makes more sense anyway." We're almost done. Anyway, last page in this episode, see here is this. So he told her, she took a hold of Pooh's front paw, and Rabbit took hold of Christopher Robin, and all Rabbit's friends and relations that took hold of Rabbit, and they all pulled together. And for a long time, Pooh only said one, "Ow," and "ooh," and then all of a sudden he popped. He said "pop," not just a cork were coming out of the bottle. It happened anyway. And Christopher Robin and Rabbit and Rabbit's friends and relations were bent over heels backward and up at the top of they came ready to pull free. Yeah, according to the movie, they sang a song about it in the Disney universe. And they say in the movie, like, "There he goes!" Julius Matthews said that, and voice of Rabbit, and then just said, "Turn the page!" And Grover said that in the book, in the movies. Winnie-the-Pooh and Honey Bear short, and of course the tree short, anyway. And the entire Maybe it's Winnie-the-Pooh episode, practical movie. Anyways, so it's not the thanks to his friends. He went out to walk for the forest, hunted proudly to himself, But Christopher Robin looked after him lovely, and then said to himself, "Silly old bear." Now, I've never heard of. I've seen some of this in the Disney universe. Never, in my life, heard. Let's say, I've seen rats, and of course, let's say, a hedgehog. I never heard of that, nor a spider and a butterfly. I've seen butterflies, and they went like so many rabbits in the Winnie-the-Pooh universe ever. But I'll get to it anyway. So that was it for that one. Seeing the pictures seen here, those are it. So there you go, and that was we're gonna leave it right there for episode part number 1 of our sessions of our 3 stories Winnie-the-Pooh. What do you think about this? There's some flaws regarding to our, they said Edward Bear. I'm like, it's not his name, it's Winnie-the-Pooh. I mean, they said in the Disney universe, that was good. But saying Edward Bear, that was the original concept, you know. I mean, the whole thing years ago, in 1920, or say 1921, actually, it was like late to 1910s, the time. You're talking Winnipeg. That's the original format for Winnie-the-Pooh. The original Winnie-the-Pooh. Dug by Christopher Robin, the visitors for Winnipeg at the time. So that was the first part. We're going to do part 2 coming up in the next episode of Bedtime Stories. But for now, that was the Bedtime Stories episode number 710. Hope you enjoyed it. So it's going to be Bedtime Stories episode 711, which will be about part 2 of our Spring Stories Winnie-the-Pooh. Now, excuse me, I gotta end this episode, and then after this, I'm gonna post a lot more on social media. Now get ready for sleep. Because after this is over, I really need to get prepared for do some else work for tomorrow. Simple as that, really. Till next time, so Jonas by Billy, Willie and Susan out. See ya.